I had a fancy intro, but I'm just sick and tired of losing in Michigan. I'm sick and tired of Ohio State coming out there with their 5-star trophies when this game requires a shovel. All right, Ohio State and Michigan, the game. It's the purest game of all of football, the entire football season, pro or college. Why? Because it's the only two teams that devote their lives to beating the other team. Toughness, intelligence, that's what wins. Tressel era, Urban Meyer era, and Ryan Day era, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. In the last 3 years, Michigan's kicked Ohio State's ass. They dodged Ohio State in 2020 like soft pansies. And then, 2022, CJ Stroud's year, they, in my opinion, cheated. And I think that'll come to fruition with more and more reports coming out. But regardless, Ohio State has lost the offensive line and defensive line battle the last couple of years. And Michigan has really stepped up. In this video, I'm going to break down Michigan's offense. I'm going to show a bunch of different clips and highlights from the past couple of years. And then I'm also going to jump into Ohio State's offense. How are each team going to attack each other? We're going to jump on the whiteboard. It's going to be an awesome video. Please consider subscribing. I've picked up like 100 subscribers in the last 30 days. It's just unbelievable. Like, my dream's to do this. So when people are subscribing, like, straight up thank you. Like, unbelievable. And I'm hoping today's video is going to be absolutely awesome. All right, though, I did want to take a step back, right? Who are the two most important or best players in this rivalry in the 2000s? Okay, number one, Troy Smith. Number two, J.J. McCarthy. And as an Ohio State fan, it's been hard to even say or be able to state how good J.J. McCarthy was, but he was unbelievable. And both those guys, what did they do? They extended plays. I'm going to run a couple highlights here. But once again, to win this game, intelligence, smarts, and then this is the one area where if it's the same and it's neck and neck, it's who can extend the play and make the play. And I don't know personally if in this game there is a Troy Smith or J.J. McCarthy, but I did want to just showcase what I'm talking about through a few clips. So let's run those. All right, let's jump on the board. This is Michigan's offense, Ohio State's base defense here. One thing about Michigan, the key to their entire offense is these people in the box, the offensive box, which I'm kind of making up a football term, but let's just call it the offensive box, like the line of scrimmage, all right? They have a tight end on the line, an H-back, tight end, or running back right here, running back next to the quarterback, and they mainly go off shotgun, though they also have the I formation, which I love the I formation. Tressel, Ohio State, that's my favorite era. Beanie Wells, I formation, Antonio Pittman. Classic. All right. But what these guys do and how well they block, this is the fundamental truth and formula to their offense. Okay. There's a few things that they're going to do against Ohio State. One is just going to be QB power. So either guys are pulling this way, H-back's going here, and their full team just sprinting out, like the Denard Robinson days, honestly. But they're going to do it with Orgy. They may even do it with a running back. I don't think they'll do it with Warren. So keep a lookout for who is the person receiving the ball from the center, because that is going to dictate where the ball is going, in my opinion. But watch out for that. Another thing that's amazing that Michigan does is they do max protection so well. Doing max protection where you're essentially doing a play action and then like these guys are essentially staying in and blocking is extremely difficult thing to do. And not a lot of teams do it well. And most of the time when you have too many people in, no one gets open downfield. And then these linebackers will start blitzing because the guy that they were supposed to be covering is staying in, and it becomes really a jumboed mess. And jumboed messes usually aren't that good for the offense. Okay, but these guys, Michigan, will do a kind of like play action fake, and then I'm going to run the clip, but play action fake where their main units will stay in, and somehow their blocking is so intelligent that it actually works out, and the quarterback pushes the ball downfield. And then the third and lastly is just going to be their power runs. This is their bread and butter, their team. This is what's kicked Ohio State's ass year after year after year. And it looks something like this, right? Running back, quarterback, tight end. This H-back's going to pull this way, come in for a block. This guy's going to work up here. This guy's going to go there, there. Center's pulling here. Both these guys are sprinting over here. Sometimes this guy even pulls over. But look how much traffic they have going right here, being the hole. Okay, I know that was a lot and kind of scribbles, all right? But you get my point, is they're full moving all these bodies, all this power into this gap, and then their running back is just gonna hit the hole, see the gap, and go. And that's all those long broken runs that they've had year after year after year is just this power game. It's to say that you guys have 4 guys over here, great, we're gonna bring 5. All right, what's the key to stopping this jumboed power game? Is the defensive linemen for Ohio State need to stay strong. These guys don't need to make a tackle, okay, but they need to stay planted where they are. They need to stay strong and get good body positioning, feet under themselves, and just hold put. This allows the linebackers to scrape. If these defensive linemen are getting pushed back, then it runs into linebackers, and that means the running back's going to at least get 5 yards because the point of impact is going to be 5 yards downfield. All right, so it's super, super, super important that these defensive linemen stay strong and that these linebackers scrape over the top and the safeties for Ohio State step up and read the play correctly, where they can start filling gaps quicker. Once again, intelligence comes into play. Start filling up gaps quicker than they have in the previous years. The one downside to Michigan's offense this year is they don't have J.J. McCarthy. The plays I already showed on this video, J.J. McCarthy was amazing at their entire offense, right? But he did a great job of getting time and space for his run game because he always kept the threat of throwing it deep and accurate. And maybe not even like deep balls, but J.J. McCarthy was incredible at throwing outside 8-yard hitches, 8-yard outs, 10 yards in. Those balls were money, and that froze the safety because they ran a lot of play action. So he'd play action, he'd pull it, and then he would hit like an 8-yard in. So that's why that safety, I'm thinking, because JJ is not in the game, I think he can come down, spin down a little bit quicker, which should help Ohio State. Now, Warren, the quarterback for Michigan, he's got to have a great game, and he's got to spin the rock, and he's got to step up in the moment, and he's got to fill that J.J. McCarthy void. I don't know if he can do it, quite frankly. And if he does, I think if you're Ohio State and he beats you, then I think that's the game plan you can live with. But I haven't seen too much on tape to say that this kid's an elite player. But Ohio State, Michigan, remember, this is the game. It brings the best out of competitors. And anyone who's a competitor dominates this game. All right, so that's kind of my breakdown of the Michigan offense. Let's jump into the Ohio State offense. Ohio State has to ferociously attack Michigan, specifically in 2 zones. Up the middle run game and deep balls. We need to stretch their defense and break them in half with the run game. That's the key to beating Michigan's defense. All right, this is baseline Ohio State's offense, right? Tight end attached, running back, 3 receivers. Some type of rotation of that front. Michigan's defense, they have 2 defensive tackles that sit pretty close to the center. Then they have like a wide edges, and they have linebackers that fill the gaps. Usually 2 safeties, 2 corners. Usually this other linebacker is either they bring in another corner, they keep a linebacker, they rotate. Anyways, but this is the kind of the formation. Ohio State's baseline offense, what do? They attack right off the tackle's butt. They attack in the middle of the field with crossers, and they attack up here with go balls. Recently, sometimes they get nervous and they think, oh, we're more talented than the other team. And then they start attacking over here with like slants, not slants, but like bubble screens and quick outs. And though, it's okay, we get yards, I feel like in these tough games, it doesn't lead to winning football because it hasn't led to winning football ever. And you could say, well, Urban Meyer used to do that. Urban Meyer's teams attacked here so much. They attacked here way more than Ryan Day's teams. Ryan Day's teams are way more fancy, okay? I'm going to run a couple plays, a couple clips throughout this entire me talking, but once again, we have to get the run game established, and I want the run game throughout the entire offensive line. I want every single hole. If I'm Ohio State's coaches, there's no way I'm going into this game thinking that Will Howard's going to lead us to victory on his shoulders. CJ Stroud didn't do that in the same system, and CJ's a way better quarterback than Will Howard. Okay, there's only a few guys in Ohio State quarterback history that can do that. Troy Smith, Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, maybe, but definitely Smith and Braxton Miller. Okay, I am making sure my game plan for the run game is extremely tight, and we have many different variables, and packages to make sure that we can run the football in between the tackles. That is my game plan. All right, I think Will Howard's good, but once again, I'm not banking on him making incredible plays that are needed, like the one I showed earlier in the video with Troy Smith. All right. And I'm also attacking the deep ball. I think Will Howard's pretty good at the deep ball. I'm attacking that. Those are my two zones I'm going at early. All right. Ohio State, Michigan. This is the game. And whatever team has more players willing to accept the challenge, enjoy the lights, enjoy the pressure, and make smart, intelligent football plays. That's making sure you're high and tight on a run so you don't fumble. That's jumping, using your hands, catching the ball, and then taking a big hit. That's shedding a block and making a tackle in the flats. These are winning football plays. Whichever team has more of those will end up winning, and it's all about mentality. All right? I think Ohio State's favored by 20. I think that's ridiculous. I think Ohio State will win by 7-10. If you're a Michigan fan, feel free to jump in the comments. First off, thanks for watching this, but jump in the comments and tell me I'm wrong. But I think this will be a closer game than what Vegas thinks. All right, please consider subscribing. We're just getting going here. Breeze by the Ivy. I got a giant passion for this. So anytime someone subscribes, I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. So please consider subscribing if you like the content. Comment, let me know what you think. And yeah, it should be a fun one. I will see you guys after the game. I'll have a after the game breakdown on Saturday. Thanks again, everyone. Go Bucks. And once again, if you're a Michigan fan, thanks for checking out the video, but go Bucks, baby.